you start?
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer McCleary, and I wanted to come to guys today to talk about pediatric chiropractic, basically adjusting children. We get a lot of patients in the office that are curious about when they can bring their kids in, how old is the youngest that they can be, what are the techniques like, and so I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit, and we're going to show you what it's like to adjust the baby. So first of all, as far as techniques go, just like with adults, we have lots of different ways to adjust children. We sometimes will use what's called an impulse thrust, using 2 fingers, just like we would do with our hands for an adult. It's a lighter press, but it's a quick thrust, and usually 2 fingers works really well for little kids. And when I say little, we're talking probably under the age of 2, maybe 3. Every child is a little bit different, but right now I'm referring to really little people and babies. We can also do a movement with your fingers that's kind of like a tapping, and that works really well. As you know, if you have children, that they're very loose, and so it doesn't take a lot of force to allow the muscles to relax and to get the joints to release and to realign, and take the pressure off the nervous system, which is our ultimate goal. Also, we can do something called Logan Basic technique. Logan Basic can be used on pregnant women. It can be used on any adult. It's really great for babies. And so that's a technique we use an awful lot. Being a graduate of Logan College of Chiropractic, I have a lot of training in Logan Basic technique, and we love using it with babies. And then the last method is sacro-occipital technique. So SOT can be used for adults, and there's a whole protocol, but there's also some different ways that we use SOT on babies. So working the cranial bones, doing an inverted technique to analyze their alignment. And so all of these are just different ways that I use on very little children. Now, if we are working on a little bit older child, sometimes we'll use the activator tool. An activator is a small instrument that you can actually pull the handle, and it puts a little bump into the bones. If you're a chiropractic patient, you may have had the activator. That might sound familiar to you. We can use it on children. One of the ways we can make the pressure less is you can go through a finger. So you can put the instrument on your thumb, give it a press, it's going to bump into your thumb, and it kind of diffuses some of the force to make it softer, make it comfortable, and a lot of kids really like the activator. But at the end of the day, it's really about finding the most comfortable technique that makes your child feel safe and get them used to coming to the chiropractor so that they can have healthy spinal health and nervous system health as they grow. So I'm going to do a brief demonstration on my son, who's here today. This is my son, Cabin. And he has not had an adjustment in a few days, so since he was born, I've been checking him at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. And when we were in the hospital, we would feel his spine just from a little cradle position, and right underneath here, I could feel his spine, and I could find places that I wanted to adjust. And we could do the tapping motion, or we could do different rocking in order to help release those spots. As he's gotten bigger, I've added some different techniques. So we're going to show you a few things today. So first of all, let's place him on the table. Your baby can wear anything that, hey Bob, he or she can wear anything that you want to bring them in. We will likely take their clothes off though, so we can look and see how things are moving. Yes. Oh, yes. Now, on a very first visit, I really like to get to know your baby a little bit, and there's no pressure to make anything specific happen. If for some reason they're really fussy and they're not enjoying the experience, then we can back off. We can do a follow-up visit to check a little bit more the next time. So, for Mr. Cabin here, we're going to take off his onesie. Yeah, and he's kind of used to this, so he's in a pretty good mood. If you know your baby's sometimes a little cranky, and especially if they're like having pain and and they are crankier, there's certain things they don't like to do. They don't like to lay on their back. They don't like to lay on their tummy. They don't like you washing their neck or changing their diaper. Those may be signs that there's misalignment in the spine. So we can look and see certain things with his alignment with the shirt off. Yes! Mwah! And he's really happy and comfortable. So a lot of times, for me, one of the ways I like to start is just scooping my hands underneath his spine, and so we can feel in there. Yes! Oh, yes! You love it, you love it. And so I like to do a quick scan just for motion and figure out if there's some areas that are restricted. So we're finding some restrictions and some misalignments in his mid-back. Now, Kevin has had some subluxation in the same area since he was born, and based on what I know about his position when he was in the womb and the delivery, it kind of explains some of the things that we find now. So don't worry about, oh, why is this happening? Did I do something wrong? A lot of the subluxations in your baby's spine is actually from birth, and it's just a part of coming into this world. So don't feel like you necessarily did anything wrong. There are stressors at all phases in life. So we're going to start here at his sacrum, and I'm going to hold a little pressure on your tailbone, Wade. Yeah. Oh, and it just clicked. It clicked underneath my finger. I don't expect you guys to hear that on the camera, but I can feel it because I have my hand right there. I can feel the hips. And we're going to work our way up. The lower part of the spine and the lumbars can affect their digestion. So if your baby is constipated, we may want to pay attention to what's happening in their lumbar spine. Yes. And let's come back up to the mid-back. All right, so I'm going to pick him up. And I can take a contact where I know that there's misalignment and give him a little squeeze and a lift. Sometimes I'll feel or hear a pop in there. I have had that with him before. It's still a little bit there. Let's go again, okay? Little squeeze. Yeah. Oh, yes. It feels better. Yes. You're loving it. You're loving it. All right. Cool. So next, to feel in the cervical spine, there's a couple different ways that I may adjust him. I can feel in the neck, but sometimes babies are squirmy, and you can see how he's a little squirmy. Sometimes we will have a parent to have the baby on their chest, and they can lay back on the table. That's an opportunity for me to feel on them face down, just the way that you would be if you were face down on the table. But I'm going to use a different method that we found works really well for him. I'm going to lean him forward like we're going to do a little burping, and I can feel his neck. So usually he doesn't protest or look around too much when I get in there. And if I find a spot, yep, then we're going to lean back, and I can do a little wiggle. Yeah. Are you smiling for the camera? There we go. Oftentimes it will start to relax and loosen up. They'll drop their shoulders, not be so fussy and distressed or tense. Hey, don't go anywhere. Once an area has released, because if it's bothering them, they might get a little bit upset. So don't be afraid if they're hurting. If they do get a little fussy, that sometimes happens. And I think Mr. Kevin might be almost ready to eat too. So if you bring your baby in, sometimes bringing them full, yes, will help. Does she have a pacifier? Sometimes we'll put a little pacifier in. Good. Okay, we're going to do one more, okay? We're going to do one more? Are you okay with it? You're going to do one more? Maybe not. Oh. give it one more try. He might be done for today, and that's pretty much what I was saying earlier is if we get a lot of things checked out, that's fine. There's no pressure to actually make everything happen in one visit. Your child getting an adjustment is not necessarily something that is going to happen in one visit. We hope that they will have periodic checkups as they continue to grow. One more. You've still got a spot. You do. Hold it in there. In there. Good. And back up. All right. Well, that's probably good to stop for today. If you guys love these videos, we can come back and do some others. We can talk about Logan basic technique, and we can show some other children getting adjusted at different ages. Kevin's actually 12 weeks this week, so if you're ever curious about being your child, and we love to see little people, we love to see toddlers, we love to see school-age children. Anyone can benefit from chiropractic here, so give us a call, and we look forward to meeting you. Thanks.